Good evening. We bring you the top stories all over the globe. This is LAYAGUIN and you're watching Eurotv World News. For the stories, Philippines, via the Armed Forces of the Philippines or AFP, is now aiming to develop more relationship ties with Sweden in terms of the two countries' defense and security matters. This came after the courtesy call of Brigadier General LAYAGUIN, the military advisor of the Department for Armament and Industry of Sweden's Ministry of Defense, on AFP Inspector General Lieutenant General Steve Crespillo on May 15. In a statement on Wednesday, AFP Public Affairs Office Chief Colonel Cerces Trinidad said that the two officials have discussed potentials of future collaborations and is looking forward to strengthening the defense and security relationships of the two nations. Trinidad added that the courtesy visit was part of AFP's effort to initiate dialogues and exchange of insights in regards to a united commitment in further promotion of regional security and global peacekeeping. The Department of Migrant Workers or DMW has successfully distributed the cash and financial assistance to the 46 overseas Filipino workers from Northern Mindanao region. At the Bagong Pilipinas Servicio Fair held in Cagayan de Oro City, Misamis Oriental on Friday, DMW spearheaded the distribution of the financial assistance to a total of 46 former OFWs as their beneficiaries. 26 former OFWs received 10,000 pesos each under the livelihood assistance, which will provide them necessary financial assistance to kickstart business opportunities and ventures. 20 additional beneficiaries received 30,000 pesos each under the Action Fund program, which aims to help them in rebuilding their lives upon returning to the Philippines. Meanwhile, 5 other OFWs received 30,000 pesos each during the Lab for All Fair, which was held at Misamis Oriental. For other news, Session Hall in Taiwan became heated after lawmakers physically tackled each other during voting for their parliament reform bill. Our senior news correspondent Vanessa Cleofas reports.
Those are the captured video from the parliament session in Taipei, Taiwan, involving opposing lawmakers tackled and hit each other with physical confrontation and altercation among them. This is in the midst of discussion on the vote for their parliament reform bill. On one side, they want lawmakers to have the power to prosecute more their government, while the Democratic Progressive Party or DPP says this is not covered by their current constitution. The said chaos occurred a few days before Taiwanese President-elect Lai Ching-te was set to take office, which was reportedly not agreed upon by the legislative members. This is Vanessa Cleofas for Eurotv News.
Following the heavy rains and massive flooding in central Afghanistan on Friday, at least 50 individuals were reported dead from the incident. More details from this report. Reports from local authorities revealed that at least 50 casualties were recorded since heavy rains poured on Friday, which affected most part of Gore Province. As of Saturday, Central Gore Province's Information Department have not released any confirmation on the number of injured individuals from the calamity. At the height of the flooding, several main roads in Central Gore Province were cut off and became inaccessible, while in the province's capital, Ferrosco, about 2,000 houses were totally destroyed, 4,000 partially damaged, and more than 2,000 shops submerged in the floods. United Nations has previously considered Afghanistan as one of the countries most vulnerable to climate change, as the country is also noted as very prone to natural disasters. It can be recalled that last week, heavy rains and flash floods has devastated villages in the northern Afghanistan, which resulted in the death of 315 individuals and more than 1,600 injured. This is LAYAGUIN for Eurotv News. Meanwhile, 10,000 Europeans are recorded to be strongly affected by cardiovascular disease. This is according to the World Health Organization or WHO. Catherine Landicho for the story.
The World Health Organization noted that 40% of cardiovascular disease is the cause of death in Europe, where the WHO suggested that they avoid or reduce milk consumption. The agency also recorded that 10,000 died in just one day, or 4 million in total within a year. Implementing target policies to reduce salt intake by 25% could save an estimated 900,000 lives from cardiovascular disease by 2030. Hans Kluge, the director of the Europe branch of the World Health Organization, said in a statement. 1 in 3 adults between the age of 30 and 79 suffers from hypertension in Europe, which is said to be mostly due to the salt consumption. In addition, 51 of the 53 countries in WHO European region have an average daily salt intake higher than WHO's recommended maximum of 5 grams or 1 teaspoon more than everyone else is due to processed foods and snacks. He said Europe has the highest blood pressure prevalence in the world. According to the WHO Europe report, men in the region are almost 2.5 times more likely to suffer from cardiovascular disease than women. There is also a geographic divide. The probability of child death to 30 to 69 years from cardiovascular disease is almost 5 times higher in Eastern Europe and Central Asia than in Western Europe. This is Catherine Landicho for Eurotv News.
The United States military confirmed that the first shipment for humanitarian assistance has successfully arrived in Gaza through a temporary floating pier. Full details on this report. U.S. Central Command stated that the first aid trucks containing the humanitarian aid began moving ashore on Friday and has successfully reached the pier receiving them. According to Prime Minister Rishi Sunak, a total of 8,400 plastic shelters had been delivered, while about 500 tons of British aid, such as tents, hygiene kits, and forklift trucks, is expected to arrive via floating pier in the coming weeks. The temporary floating pier were built by U.S. Armed Forces to open more route for the entrance of humanitarian aid and facilitate its delivery to Gaza amidst the continuing tension in the area. The built pier is also expected to give access to 90 aid truckloads at first and increase to 150 once it starts operating fully. However, Sunak said that the temporary maritime route was not the only option to respond to the humanitarian crisis in Gaza, and that they are looking for the opening of more land routes, including the Rafah border, to deliver aid to the civilians in the area. This is LAYAGUIN for Eurotv News. And that's the top global stories for this week. For more news and information, you may visit our official website, eurotvph.com. You may also catch Eurotv World News and other Eurotv programs at Pinoy Extreme Channel. Thanks for tuning in. This has been LAYAGUIN, and this is Eurotv World News.